I'm not giving up my workouts. I'm not giving up time with my family, and I am not willing to play small in my business. So you can see how I inspired chaos, right? Hello, hello. It has been very eventful in my world. And so I kind of felt inspired after a chat with, I have this group that I do here locally in Phoenix. So the cool thing about this group is I was recognizing that there was a continuous theme. And it's actually in my own life as well. So, it was kind of fun to kind of play with this and have a chance to kind of change the direction of some of the ways I've been doing things this past month. And so in the group last night, everyone was talking a lot about, the mind pressure, the chatter of the mind, and creating chaos. And for me, chaos is that awesome opportunity to quiet yourself and look for new opportunities to do things differently and find out new things that may serve you better. So my belief system that nothing's right, wrong, good, or bad, but there's always these really cool opportunities to see if something serves you or doesn't. So lately, I personally have been experiencing a lot of chaos in my schedule as well. I've been taking on some new adventures in my business and expanding it and going more big scale, which is very exciting, and meeting some really dynamic people and having some really cool new experiences. So that's all been wonderful. But, like any time we make a change, there is consequences or exchanges for one thing over another, right? So I've learned to kind of try to do something a little bit differently. Now, I'm not giving up my workouts. I'm not giving up time with my family, and I am not willing to play small in my business. So you can see how I inspired chaos, right? So as I've literally kind of been getting these opportunities to do things a little bit differently, I started going in and seeing how I can create safety within my experience. If that resonates with you, by all means, share something down below about your chaos too, because I really feel like, that's something we all can relate to. And it's something that we all, desire to create space around and do something different. So the first thing I do is the night before, I will write all the things that I'm grateful for. I've always had a gratitude practice. I usually write 3 things I'm super grateful for, and maybe one thing I would like to ponder upon while I'm sleeping. So like a question of, how do I, navigate this specific challenge I'm having in my life, which is kind of fun because in the morning I have such amazing clarity on how to navigate it differently without creating a lot of stress. Now, there's a caveat to that. I do not put anything that would keep me up at night. So it's something not necessarily that I'm emotionally invested in, because I think when we're very emotionally invested in something, we will stay up all night and have a hard time, creating peace with that. So it is important to understand the type of questions you're asking yourself before bed is something that is, troublesome or tricky, or you don't have clarity around, and get a chance to kind of play through it differently. So again, no emotional thoughts. It's just a literal business or analytical struggle that you're looking for answers and opportunities with. So that's the first one. The second one that I do, and this has been really new to me, is I've been starting to play with putting things in categories. So if something brings me financial revenue, I will put that in one category. If it's something that I need to get done and it's, very important and I don't want to forget about it, I'll put it in a different category. Another thing, like for me, brainstorming or copy creating programs or opportunities to work with people in different ways, or maybe it's, fulfillment. It's stuff like spending time with my kids. I'll put that in another category. So everything is kind of categorized based on priority and how they relate to my life. And the last one, of course, is things that I can delegate to other people so I don't bog down myself with little tasks, meaningless, I can't say the word, little tasks that block down my potential of success. So I've started to kind of put things into little categories so that I can make sure that I create a sense of balance in my schedule. I don't know if you can relate to this, but sometimes everything kind of comes at you and you don't have, clarity on how to do it all or get it all done. We're all granted the same 24 hours. So it can be pretty intense if you feel like your tasks are taking you over, or if your priorities are kind of getting a little hairy and you feel like, you can't organize your thoughts. So this has really helped me clean up kind of creating a little structure in my chaos, right? I mean, that's the whole opportunity there, is how to kind of create more expansiveness and more playful time in my life. My world, it is extremely important for me to get into nature at least once a day. That is an element of my life that I have recognized is super important for me to create balance with. So I make sure that I have that in my schedule as well. So it is about self-care, it is about self-love, and staying ambitious and inspired and creative. I think if we don't organize our thoughts like this, we can have a tendency to kind of stay in the zone of one direction for too long, and then we don't feel like we've accomplished much throughout the day. And it can give us that sense of like, what did I do all day? Did I just, I wrote bills all day, or I spent the entire day in front of the computer, or whatever, is going on for you. It can make us feel like, we don't have a sense of accomplishment if we don't have a well-rounded cycle. So I've been doing this and it's really been impactful for me. It's really created these really cool opportunities to kind of, feel more fulfilled and more organized. And I don't feel that anxiety or stress any longer. So that's been really cool for me to kind of shift that. That was a lot of fun. If you resonate with that, I would really love to hear what you do in your systems to kind of create some source of organization and structure. The third thing that I've been doing, which has been introduced to me by someone else that I thought was really kind of a fun, playful way to create, like clarity. It's called Formula 3-2-1. And it's a lot like a gratitude, but it kind of has a different perspective to it. So it's 3 things you've done well, 2 things you would like to do differently, and 1 thing you would like to implement immediately. I think that helps us stay out of the judgment of when we've done something bad or we're not in the flow, and we stop punishing ourselves. I think a lot of us have a little pattern of self-sabotage when we feel like we haven't met our own expectations and we start to spin out about it. So sending you all love. Bye.